Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dalton from the Petrol List, and welcome back to talking about Formula One. The drivers and teams took a break from Formula One, as did I, but race weekend is coming up, and it's going to be in the great state of Texas, which is where I live, so it's going to be kind of extra special.
Yeah, what's so great about dumb old Texas?
What did you say?
There is some extra special news that's going on, and I'm going to get into it. Well, the first one I'm going to have to say is Haas's partnership with Toyota. So Toyota's racing department is Toyota Gazoo Racing, and they're going to enter F1 for the first time since 2005. Now, it's not going to be an actual works Toyota Formula One team like they did back in 2005, but they are going to be Haas's official technical partner, and that means a lot. Now, let's get one thing clear. The Haas cars will have Ferrari power units all the way through 2028. That's what their contract is for. But Toyota is going to be able to help out with development, with having a huge, amazing facility, something that Haas didn't have. As a matter of fact, I think Haas was the smallest Formula One team on the grid up until this partnership, and they're going to get facilities, they're going to get resources. I think they're going to get wind tunnel access. I might be overstating it, but it's a huge partnership, and this is as close as Toyota can really get without actually having a works team. So they're going to be hugely involved, and in the future, it might even help out with Toyota's racing development. I guess Toyota doesn't want Honda to have all the fun, and I don't think it hurts that Io Komatsu is Haas's new team principal, since Gunther Steiner was let go. And a lot of the Japanese teams, they do like to have a Japanese connection, whether it's a driver like Yuki Tsunoda or a team principal before they decide to get involved. So this is big news. Haas might not be as big an embarrassment as they've been in the past. They really cleaned house. So they've got Ollie Bierman as a driver. They've got Ocon as a driver, and they're going to have Toyota doing racing development. They might be the dark horse. They might be one to watch. And let me tell you, the 2025 and 2026 grids, it's going to be a lot different than what we've been seeing for the last few years. Aston Martin, as you know, is going to have Fernando Alonso and Adrian Newey. And I think the Honda power unit partnership doesn't start until 2026, but still, they are shaping up to try to be competitive. And then the Williams cars are already looking faster. They've got Franco Colapinto, who is driving really, really well for that team. And next year, it's going to be Sainz and Albon in the driver's seats with a very fast Franco Colapinto waiting in the wings for one of those two guys to screw up. Ferrari, of course, they're going to have Fred Vasseur, they're going to have Charles Leclerc, and they're going to have Lewis Hamilton. So they are setting up to possibly have a great 2025, 2026. And then you've got McLaren. Currently, the whole papaya rules, I'm not really sure what that's doing positively for the team. But they've got Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, and an incredibly fast car, at least for this year. Now, let's save the championship rumblings for after this race, because Helmut Marko has said that there are some upgrades that they're bringing to the RB20 that is going to bring it back to competitiveness, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. We'll see what the other teams have brought as far as upgrades too, because they've not been standing still. And will Red Bull win any more races? Will they be, a steady contender for podiums for the rest of the season? Who knows? We can't really tell until after the Austin race. So we've covered Haas, Aston Martin, Williams, Ferrari, McLaren. They're all going to be really quick on the grid next year. Red Bull, the car is a wild card. Sergio Perez is a wild card. And the only constant, if you will, is Max Verstappen. Can he carry the team for the rest of the year? Probably. He's got enough of a lead. Can he carry the team going into 2025? We don't know. I mean, other teams are really, really looking like they're trying to compete. And why wouldn't you? It's getting a lot more traction. And teams, they don't want to be slouches. They want that publicity. Manufacturers want the publicity, so you can see them going all in. And so, Red Bull, I don't know what to think about them for the rest of the year and for 2025. And then we've also got Mercedes. So with Mercedes, we've got Kimi Antonelli, which is supposed to be like the new Senna or the new Max Verstappen or whatever. But as we saw in Monza, I mean, he did put the car in the bin. But before that, his testing had been going really well. And then we've got George Russell, who is also a little bit of a wild card. Sometimes he drives really well, and sometimes he puts it in the bin. And then we've got Toto Wolff. I'm not really sure what to think of his leadership right now. Mercedes is kind of all over the place, and the car's all over the place. So Mercedes and Red Bull might have problems as they enter the 2025 season. And I don't see any indicators that say that I could, bet on either of those teams for 2025. So 2025 is going to be just massively different. We've got so many drivers who are switching it up or who have left. Liam Lawson is gone. Daniel Ricciardo is gone. I can't remember. Has Bottas been signed? I would sign Bottas if I was Binotto. And, that brings me on to one last subject, and that is the propensity for Formula One personalities to want to play the villain. And, is it for notoriety? Is it to keep their name in the headlines? And, a great target for that, villainness is always Lewis Hamilton. Binotto is saying that he wouldn't sign Lewis Hamilton. Well, Binotto, that's why you're no longer the team principal for an A-list team. So we'll just leave it there. I think Fred Vasseur has a vision, and if he can go all in with Lewis Hamilton, and if Leclerc can study Lewis Hamilton's driving preparation regiment or whatever, he gets Lewis Hamilton to win his 8th. Hamilton goes off into the sunset. Ferrari gets to end their slump. Charles Leclerc gets the handoff. And then you've got, Ollie Bierman, who comes up and drives alongside Leclerc. And you've got a team that is a dynasty in the making for, the next 4-8 years. So I think he's got a vision. George Russell, I'm of two thoughts. Did he have to be the villain in order to stay relevant? Because, we are talking about him. And it's not necessarily because he's been that great of a driver, but it's because he's been going up against Lewis Hamilton and honestly kind of talking a little bit of unfounded crap. But what if that was the best way for him to stay relevant? Because if he performed in an okay way, but he wasn't using his, beef with Hamilton as a big PR thing, would we be talking about him as much? Would he have just, I don't know. Hard to say. And then, of course, Lando Norris has been putting his foot in his mouth, talking about the fastest cars should always win. Well, that didn't age well. But that's neither here nor there, because we got 2025 to look forward to. Or actually, sorry, the rest of the season. We've got a race coming up, and I'm excited about that. And I'm also excited about next season. 2025. It is going to be a season unlike, what we've seen for the last few years, because it is going to be so wildly different. Let's see what happens over these final 6 races. I'm Dalton, and this is the Petrol List, and you have been great. Welcome back to Formula One race weekend coming up. I'll see you then. I'm out.